Easy to remember. All white left side, all orange right side. Easier to remember. Okay. So samosa right, Red Bull white left. That samosa on your right. That cylinder orange on your right. This cylinder orange on your right. Return this one does not count. This one is only for your finish. Don't care. You can go this side, no problem. Okay. Take this right. That's one round. Same thing again. Second round. Samosa right. White Red Bull left. Samosa right. Orange cylinder right. Orange cylinder right. If you are in the Groms, 2 rounds. 1 round finish. Second round, don't come here. Finish. Take this turn here. On left side. Okay. Tamil Nadu, but I'm just saying. Okay, left side. Come back to the finish line. You can leave your board on the water. There will be volunteers. You have to cross the line with your paddle. No diving. No jumping. You have to run. Chest and shoulder is the counting. Okay? If you jump or dive, disqualified. If you fall down, that's different. But don't make a extra attempt to. You don't get the finish if your head goes first. Okay? Clear? Shekhar, can you please explain once? Check.
Okay, so first thing is. So start பண்ணிட்டு இங்க இருந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து எடுத்தோம்னா அந்த சமோசா மாதிரி அது வந்து ஒரு ரைட் ஷோல்டர். இப்போ இதெல்லாம் போயேனா
நான் தான் போயா.
இதெல்லாம் போயேனா எப்படி டர்ன் பண்ணனும்னா உங்க போர்டு இப்படி டர்ன் பண்ணனும். ஓகே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டர்ன். செகண்ட் டர்ன் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த லெஃப்ட். ஓகே சோ அங்க இருந்து வரீங்களே வந்துட்டு இதா போயேனா இப்படி டர்ன் பண்ணனும். ஓகேவா? நான் தேர்ட் ஒன் பாத்தீங்கன்னா அதே மாதிரி ரைட். ஒண்ணே ஒன்று மட்டும் லெஃப்ட். இது எல்லாமே ரைட் ஷோல்டர் கனெக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஓகே இங்கே வந்துட்டு ரைட். ஸோ இது வந்து கனெக்ட் பண்ணாதீங்க. 3 லேப் வரைக்கும் கனெக்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. இல்லை இருந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லேப் மட்டும் கனெக்ட் கிடையாது. செகண்ட் லேப் சொல்லி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இது வந்து லெஃப்ட் எடுத்துட்டு சேம் அந்த போர்ட் அதே சொல்லணும். பட் போர்ட் ரிமூவ் பண்ணிட்டு பேடல் கைக்கு இருக்கணும். பேடல் மட்டும் இருக்கணும். பேடலில் வச்சு தான் அந்த லைன் வந்து கிராஸ் பண்ணணும். ஓகே இது வந்து அந்த 60. ஸோ ஓப்பன் நேஷனல் லைன். நேஷனலுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 4 லேப். ஸோ அதே மாதிரி சேம் பட் 4th லேப் வந்து இந்த ஒயிட் கலர் சிலிண்டர் கிராஸ் பண்ணிட்டு சேம் அதே ஃபினிஷ்.
ஓகே இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் முக்கியமான அனௌன்ஸ்மெண்ட். கரெக்டான ரவுண்டிங் பண்ணலைன்னா இஃப் யூ டோன்ட் டூ த கரெக்ட் ரவுண்டிங் இல்லை ரவுண்ட் பண்ணும்போது அந்த மார்க்கரில் நீங்கள் சப்போர்ட் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா அதை யூஸ் பண்ணி ஏதாச்சும் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு பொசிஷன் அட்வான்டேஜ் ஆயிருக்குன்னா டிஸ்குவாலிஃபைட். முன்னாடி மாதிரி போன வருஷம் வந்து திருப்பி போயிட்டு வரதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. திஸ் டைம் நோ ரீட்ரை. ஒரு வாட்டி வந்து அந்த கப்பான சைடில் போனீங்கன்னா இல்லை அதை சப்போர்ட்டை யூஸ் பண்ணிங்கன்னா டிஸ்குவாலிஃபைட். ஸோ ப்ளீஸ் பிளான் பண்ணி நிதானமாக டர்ன் பண்ணிட்டு வாங்க. எவ்ரிபடி கிளியர் ஆன் த ரூல்ஸ்? தமிழ்லையா இங்கிலீஷ்? தமிழ். ஸ்டார்ட் அண்ட் ஃபினிஷ் அந்த ஒரு ரெட் கலர் ரோப் இருக்கும். அங்கே தெரியுது பாருங்க. 2 பேரிகேட்டுக்கு நடுவில் ஒரு ரெட் கலர் ரோப். நாங்கள் இங்கே இருப்போம். அங்கே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சமோசா நேராக அங்கே அது வந்து உங்கள் ரைட் சைடு அதில் அந்த சுற்றி வரும். அந்த வெள்ளை ரைட் லெஃப்ட் சைடு. அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த சமோசா அங்கே தூரம் அந்த ரைட் எடுத்து திருப்பி இங்கே ரைட் அந்த சிலிண்டர் ரைட் சமோசா ரைட் சிலிண்டர் லெஃப்ட் சிலிண்டர் ரைட் மூணு பக்கம் கூட ரைட்டு 4வது பக்கம் தான் இப்படி சுற்றிட்டு திருப்பி போர்டை விட்டுட்டு பேடல் மட்டும் பிடிச்சிருக்கேன். தேங்க்யூ. Okay, with that briefing done, we are 10 minutes to the restart of day one of the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024. We will be starting with the men's national technical 4-kilometer race. Starting in exactly 9 minutes. Stay tuned. We're going to do the... You want to do this thing from there? Check-in call, Check.
Check. Check-in call going out to the Technical Nationals men 4-kilometer race. Anandi Naveen, bib number 7. Agamuttu, bib number 76. M. Manjunath Naik, bib number 34. Rohan R. Suvarna, bib number 49. Akash Shetty, bib number 73. Sudhakar Jaina, bib number 31. Santoshan S, bib number 117. Manigandan M, bib number 72. Shekhar Pachai, bib number 71.
Okay, and we have about 2 minutes till the official 5-minute call. 7 minutes to the start of the race. We have an interesting angle of introducing this venue, this beautiful venue that we're at. Live on YouTube, you should be soon seeing. Are we looking at that or that? Okay, where's Quest? You went back? So, as you can see, we just hovered over Quest Academy, the lovely venue where some of us have the pleasure of staying. This is the road. We're going to get another chance. Wow, what a view. So that green bit you see over there, that entire stretch behind it as well, is Quest Academy. As you come out of the beautiful property, you get onto the road that leads us to this beautiful beach in Pirappan Valasai, where the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024 is being hosted. We're getting an even better view of Quest Academy. Don't know if you can see my cottage there, but somewhere in the middle is the beautiful cottage where me and some of the other team members are staying. As you come out of the property, you head north.
Check.
It's a lovely tar road that's been laid recently. And as you get closer and closer to the beach, you can almost smell the ocean along with the fresh breeze. As of now, you can see not many properties around, but I don't see this lasting too long. This is paradise as we know it. This road then lands up on the beach, where very soon you should be able to see all of us here waiting to flag off the second session of the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024. We will be starting with the men's 4-kilometer technical, and on the dot, 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to start of race. Racers to the line. And we see that line coming up on our screens right now. We got a view of this from the other side, from the ocean. In the first session, we get to see the approach towards the ocean. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the lovely venue. Unfortunately, this event only goes on for 2 days, but we wish it went on for a week. That's how beautiful this is. Call out, check-in call for Manjunath Nayak. Thank you, Niche Films, for possibly the best intro to a venue I've ever seen. Back to the action. We've only got under 4 minutes to the start of the second session of day one of the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024. We've got timekeepers and finish officials waiting for the start.
Check. Thank you once again, Nawaz, for virtually bringing our audience into the venue of Quest Academy and what's happening here. Once again, good afternoon to all our viewers joining us this lovely afternoon to the third edition and day one of the Palkbay StandUp Paddle Challenge 2024 under the aegis of Surfing Federation of India, Tamil Nadu Surfing Association, supported by the Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, the TT Group, Yolo, Quench EV Battery, the Residency Towers, and Ocean Ambassadors.
Check. 1 minute is started or?
Yeah.
We heard the call from the race office saying 1 minute, so under 1 minute now remaining, where the racers stand ready for a beach start.
False start.
Leads recoup. It's kind note any false starts charged on this question. clean start men's technical 4-kilometer. My God, that was tense. Standing next to them, I could feel the pressure. I can imagine what these athletes must be going through.
Your voice and the tension coming across with. Ladies and gentlemen, that was indeed an exciting start of technical. Anandi Naveen in bib number 79, Selvarasan Nagamuthu in 76, Manjunath Naik in 34, Rohan R. Suvarna 49, Akash Shetty 73, Sudhakar Jena in 31, Santoshan S 117, Manigandan M in 72, and Shekhar Pachai in 71. So Nawaz, do you want to tell us what is technical about the technical?
I like that question. Well put. So as you see the athletes making the first turn, this course is 5 turns per lap. So the first turn, all the athletes are required to make it on their starboard side or their right side, on their right shoulder. They come towards the center of the course where they take their first left turn, the only left turn in the lap, and then head towards turn number 3, which is again on their right, turn number 4, which would be on their right again, and they would head back to the last turn, which would be again a right-hander. That is a single lap which comprises of 1 kilometer. Sorry, it's very official here. We have updates happening with all the officials informing of every single athlete whether they made the turn the right way. They're not allowed to lean on the mark. They're not allowed to use it for their advantage, and they have to make it in the right direction. Otherwise, they will be disqualified. So what makes it technical as opposed to a distance or a sprint is that there are X number of turns in a technical race. Sometimes it involves even getting over a break, waves, but more often than not, a technical course always has a certain number of turns, some very sharp, some more or less than 90 degrees. But either way, you have in this course, for example, 4 right-hand turns, 1 left-hand turn, and that's what makes it technical as opposed to a straight line race where athletes have to combine their ability to go from point B in a straight line in the most efficient way, and at the same time make the turns in technically the right way as well as the most efficient way.
Thank you there for letting us know what is technical about the technical race.
So this particular race is the men's race. They will be doing 4 laps, and at the end of their last lap, they will make, instead of the last usual turn number 5, there is a turn just in front of the start finish line where they make their final left turn on the left shoulder and head back to the finish line, which is also the start line. Since this is a beach start, the athletes will be letting go of their board just as they leave the water and will be crossing the finish line just with paddle in hand. And it's the athlete's chest and shoulder that counts, so no diving or unfair advantage by doing so will be allowed. Just to give an idea, last year we had a 2-kilometer technical. So the timing isn't a fair comparison, obviously, because this is a 4-kilometer for the men, 4-kilometer for the women, and 2-kilometer for the Groms. But the men's technical last year positions, so that you know who to look out for. As we pull up that data, we had Shekhar Pachai finishing in first last year, and Manikandan in second with Santoshan in third. And we have a look as the athletes are crossing the start finish area just in front of us. It looks like that's Shekhar and Manikandan side by side, first and second last year, on track for being first and second this year. Shekhar is obviously been around surfing and SUP for a while now and is probably the most famous SUP athlete that we have in India. He's represented India on multiple occasions, ranked 18th internationally in one of the competitions. He has been the defending champion, an undisputed defending champion in all disciplines, sprint, distance and technical over the years, except for last year, where we had surprisingly Manikandan, who had been training very hard, also part of the same village in Kovalong, drawing inspiration from the likes of Shekhar, and then finally, as he put it last year, beating his hero. It was a lovely moment. Shekhar himself was proud last year. He unfortunately fell off the board, I remember, in the sprint, but he made sure that the technical and distance he maintained his retained his title. So looks like this year it's a strategic race. I'm not able to tell if they're both using each other's draft from this angle, but they've all, the first and second, have started their second lap, and we have the rest of the athletes coming through. And up to now, we have not got any reports from our officials of any unfair or incorrect turns, which is fantastic to see. So you've also been witnessing Shekhar's accomplishments over the years. How do you think that plays on the minds of the youngsters, and how does that influence more youngsters to take up the sport?
He's definitely inspiring athlete for the youngsters, because like you rightly said, he's not just excelled in the stand-up paddle, but he's also had his mark in the surfing sport as well. He has set his
we have Manikandan just trying to get too far back on his board, looked like, when he was making that turn. So Sunitha, these athletes, when they make their turn, it isn't how, you know, in leisure SUP that you just either do one side paddle or you do a reverse paddle on the opposite side. Their turns in these technical...
There is technicality involved in their turns.
They step back on the board, almost elevating their nose a fair amount outside the water, then use their body and paddle to turn the board much sharper than they would have been able to if the entire board was on the surface. And there you saw Manikandan maybe stepping a little too far back. It looked like his feet were a little too wide and not in line, and as a result leaned over sideways. But it is a long-ish race for these, I mean not too long for these athletes, but it's enough time for him to recoup and get back into contention zone with Shekhar. Sorry, you were talking about Shekhar, and...
We'll come back to Shekhar, but correct me if I'm wrong, Nawaz, in my observation. I also observed that the athletes have an edge of overtaking each other at the turns. Is that how they do it, or does that give them a leeway because of the technicality involved to overtake the other?
So absolutely, because in straight line, a lot of these athletes, there's not much to differentiate them. But when it comes to the turn, a lot of time can be gained or lost. So somebody with maybe not that big an advantage in straight line over an athlete, but has a very good and sharp and quick turn, could more than make up for it. So that's what a technical race is all about.
So that looks like Shekhar in the lead, and is that their last lap?
No, this is lap 2 complete. There will be 2 more laps like this. So there'll be one more normal lap like this, and then the last lap alone will be turning right before, in front of the start finish. So this is now lap 2 being completed by the leader. So normally what you would find in distance and technical races, more in distance than technical, we'll talk a bit more about that tomorrow when we're commenting on that, but you will find packs that form. So you'll have athletes who are of a similar skill level, who sometimes take turns in drafting, especially when the wind conditions and the water conditions are challenging. Drafting is a huge part of distance racing, and you'll see them take turns in taking the lead and cutting the wind for the other. Shorter distances, you don't see that so much, but here we saw a pack per se forming where Shekhar and Manikandan were right next to each other, and then you see a bunch of athletes just behind them, but no one really close enough to be drafting here. We'll probably see that a bit more tomorrow in the distance races.
So, Nawaz, I know this can be a very, I wouldn't say stupid question, but an ignorant question. This particular sport, watching them paddle, 4 kilometers can get dehydrating. So, how does one manage that aspect?
There is absolutely no ignorant question when it comes to sports, because we have different people with different levels of information about the sport, and I think anything we can share is definitely useful. And that is actually an interesting question, because it's not easy to carry a bottle like other sports. So you will notice some of these athletes are wearing something that looks like a small backpack. It is a small backpack, but it houses a compartment for water, and you have a pipe which is then close to their mouth, so they would take a sip as and when they need. Obviously, too much water is not good either. So they wouldn't, this way they don't have to. Back in the day, you would see SUP races where you'd have ropes in the front, in the tour boats. The people would have, athletes would have their water bottles or refreshment drinks. So that you don't have to stop plenty of hydrate themselves right through the race. And very, very important in the distance races, because although you might be on the water, but it makes it so much more hotter than it would be on land because of all the reflection from the water. So dehydration is definitely a threat in the distance races, and constant hydration and maintaining that is very, very important. So your question was very, very relevant.
Thank you, Nawaz. It reminds me also of the saying, water, water everywhere and not a drop of water to drink.
I was very tempted to say that, but I didn't want to go cliche, but I'm glad you did.
Well, famous quotes are not cliched. They're just reminders of good learning and, takeaways from well-renowned writers who've written it for some purpose.
It was probably somebody stuck at sea, unfortunately, that came up with that. Or maybe a stand-up paddle drifted with the current. But one of the advantages of this venue is, apart from the fact that you've got beautiful colored waters, today I wouldn't call this choppy, but from conditions that I have seen, maybe not as still. There have been days where the water here has been literally like a mirror, and it's unbelievable. I cannot explain how beautiful that looks. So one of the advantages of this kind of venue is that you don't have, at least at this time of year, and not today especially, any waves breaking, which means that the race area, the competition area, can be a lot closer to the beach. It's not many areas, many competitions where you get to see the athletes this close, especially in a technical and distance race. Sprint races, of course, normally happen close to shore or near a jetty, but technical races are often a little further out or out and in. The layout of this competition zone is such that it's very horizontal along the beach. Even the distance tomorrow you will see is 1 kilometer from the start point west and then 2 kilometers east. All the while the athletes are only about 50 to 100 meters from the shore. So we can even have support going along with them with vehicles, for example. So that's a unique feature of this venue, which is very exciting and makes it very interactive for the viewers. As we see the race leader coming in and completing lap 3. After he makes this turn number 5, it will be the start of his final lap. And it looks like he's built up his lead, increased his lead over Manikandan. I think that fall, didn't really see Manikandan recover too much from that fall, to be honest.
Yeah. Mani, keep going. Oh, he's calling out.
It looks like one of the athletes has an injury. Unfortunately, we were just talking about the importance of hydration and maintaining, and I think from his action looks like he's got an injury, maybe a catch on the chest, looks like, or the shoulder. Good to see him on his feet and still making his way back, though. That's a good sign. I hope that injury is not too serious. That's Rohan Suvarna, number 49. Rohan, are you okay? Good to see that, Rohan.
49 is Mani, I beg your pardon. That was not Manikandan. Manikandan's bib number is 72.
Yep, I said 49.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, 49.
Corrected
Sorry.
myself.
I thought I made a mistake. It was 49, Rohan there, retiring from the race. Unfortunate. Good effort, Rohan. And I hope you recover soon from your injury, and please take care.
So, Nawaz, I have one more question. So, stand-up paddle is something that has been in the sporting circuit of the water sports, especially in India in the recent times. So, what makes this sport interesting? I know it is technical, it's challenging, and you mentioned about the water conditions, but let's say you do have a lot of waves like we have back in Kovalam. So how does this race happen in a condition like that?
Good question. Well, there are a couple of things that make this sport interesting, and I'll answer that one first. Unlike surfing, it's a lot easier to pick up. So all those who have surfed will remember their first lesson, where the first time they got up on the board and took a wave, and then the first time they took a green wave without any assistance. But to get from there to competition level takes a long time. So you pick up surfing very quickly, but to gain the expertise and the skill to start competing and doing the maneuvers that the judges are looking for takes a lot more time. Stand-up paddle, on the other hand, is less about the maneuvers and more about just the ability and the amount of time that you spend doing the sport. So I would say you progressively gain experience and the ability to compete a lot faster in SUP than you do in surfing. And what makes it interesting in terms of the conditions is that a place like Kovalam, where we have waves breaking a lot of the time, you'll probably end up having the competition a little further out beyond the break. And as a result, the logistics can be a little tricky. We don't have the luxury of, like here, for example, where we're sitting and watching. Let's take a break for a second and just watch the athletes. No, I don't think they're finishing yet. I think Shekhar is in the lead and making his turn. Well, Shekhar is making turn number 4. So I'll quickly finish what I was saying. In places like Kovalam, you'd have to have the competition beyond the break, which means viewing it and conducting it is not as easy. But what is interesting about SUP is that it doesn't have to be on the ocean. It can be on a lake, it can be on a man-made lake or a natural one. We've even been talking about having an event in Uttarakhand, for example, or in a hill station in Kodaikanal. It can be even done in a large swimming pool. That's the beauty of the sport. It doesn't have to be in open waters like this. Of course, it's a blessing to have conditions like this and be able to have this kind of event. But that for me is very, very interesting. The fact that anyone can pick it up so quickly and take part in a competition where we have all these different divisions, and the fact that it can be had anywhere.
And this question is for the benefit of those who do not know how to swim. So I presume that somebody can pick up this sport even if they are not very good swimmers.
Yes, but it's always advisable to at least learn the basics of being able to float and do some basic swimming, because no matter how much the sport involves you being on top of the board, even the best of athletes, as we saw, land up in the water, as we just see there. It doesn't mean that they are unable to perform that turn. It's just anything could happen. It's nature. A wake, a small bump in the wave, anything could make you overturn or fall off the board. So it's definitely strongly advisable to know how to swim, at least the basic level. But of course, the fact that you're attached to the board, all of that is a huge benefit as well in terms of safety.
Is that the first person coming in?
Yes, that is. And we have our defending champion, Shekhar Pachai.
Surfers watching, please put your hands together. Joraga Karagoshate Yerpavum. This is the finals for the 4 kilometer, and finishing first is Shekhar Pachai.
Shekhar not needing the volunteers at the finish line, taking the board himself, showing us why he's the multiple time defending champion. In first place, the men's technical 4 kilometer, Shekhar Pachai. Shekhar, don't go too far. I'd like to have, once you caught your breath, I'd like to have an interview with you, just with the backdrop of the event, the beautiful setup that we have next to the judges area.
We have the second person coming in. Please put your hands together for Manikandan.
Manikandan, an unfortunate fall that he had. I don't think he quite recovered, but a very, very strong finish. In second place, Manikandan M, aka Fan.
I wonder where the fan is fixed though.
Fan has a lot of fans, and we'll see them all come to life during the finals of the sprint tomorrow. I think that's more his event, to be honest. Endurance, I haven't seen anybody give Shekhar a run for his money in the technical and distance so far. But with the number of Groms that we've seen coming through in the last couple of years, it's only a matter of time. I request the timekeeper officials to please inform us when it has been 15 minutes from the first finish. All athletes have 15 minutes from the first finish to finish the race. Timekeepers Rohan and Dinesh, please let us know when 15 minutes has passed from Shekhar's finish. Thank you.
So Nawaz, I was just thinking, we have surfing, we have stand-up paddle. Are we going to bring in more water sports?
We do have the marriage of surfing and stand-up paddle. It's called SUP SUP Surf. It's not a discipline that we've seen in India yet, but it's not very difficult to have a competition for that, because we have both the disciplines already. I don't think we have any athletes who have been specially training for that particular discipline, because it involves using a much bigger, wider, voluminous board. Not the size of the SUP boards you see now, but something. Let's just watch Santosh and S, aka Katai, who also finished third last year and finishing third again this year, coming in for a strong finish. Katai, one of the bigger, stronger athletes, who's also been competing for many years, first as a junior and then now in the men's division. The likes of Santosh and Manikandan I've actually seen from 10 years old when they're little kids, and it's so nice to see them competing at the highest level. And we've got Akash Shetty, bib number 73, another very, very strong athlete from the West Coast. He's holding his back. I hope that doesn't mean there's any injury. Akash, you good? This is not easy, ladies and gentlemen. It might look and sound only like it's 4 kilometers, but it feels a lot more than that. Especially when you're battling with the wind. As we see the next athlete, bib number 76, is it?
Yes.
Yes, that's Selvarasan Nagamuthu. Selvarasan made it through in the finals. Made it through to the finals of the sprint and now finishing a strong 5th, I believe. 5th.
Who came in then after Rome?
So while we have a look at the rest of the athletes come through, can I please request the top 3? This is the finals, ladies and gentlemen. So you are seeing the winners of this year's technical distance. We have Sudarshan Jana finishing his race. I request Shekhar, Mani and Santosh, Shekhar, Fan and Kata, could you please join me for an interview near the judges area? As we see the last few athletes making their way, finishing this race. The women's technical race is up next. And
Make a check-in call.
we are on track, looks like, for a start of 2:45, which is 15 minutes from now.
Check-in call going out to the finalists of the Technical Nationals Women's Race, 4 kilometers. Anusha Reddy, bib number 07. Priyadarshini Bamanian, bib number 11. Shrishti Selvam, bib number 38. Tanvi Jagdish, bib number 116. Vijay Lakshmi Irulappan, bib number 02. And Monica P, bib number 44.
And Kata, Mani and Santosh, are you around for an interview? There you are.
Selva, you're wanted by Shekhar.
Check.
Hey, congrats, boys.
Are we live? Check. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us the winners of the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024 men's technical 4-kilometer race. It was exciting to watch, and we have with us all 3 winners from Kovalam in Tamil Nadu. First off, let's start with Shekhar Pachai, defending champion, as I said, of many years. Shekhar, how was that race for you?
It's good race, very tough today because critical a turn. Then this 14 feet also very hard to turn. Before now we are using only 12.6. That one only one step go back, easy to turn, but this one very hard to go back. That's why we are turning now always a slow and don't fall. It's good, tough race but nice, we all enjoy.
You don't look like you lost much breath. You look like you can go for one more race.
Yeah, I can go, but I can't get speed. I can go that same speed. I can go another 2-3 kilometers also.
That's why you are the defending champion. Save some of that energy. You have your 12-kilometer race tomorrow, and then you have your sprint finals later. But tell us something. It's interesting what you mentioned about the board. We noticed that up to turn the second lap, Manikandan was side by side with you. Was there much drafting involved? Did you guys use much of the drafting at all at play?
No, we are using for like technique. Technique meaning like advantage. So we can't go like out of that zone. We go like out of zone, no? Someone go like a begin. We go like a close, no? We can go like a... So basically like we help each other. So then only like someone board like holding like someone board. Then like we also like paddle like a lighter, like one more guy like pushing to us. Like that's like a most like a technique.
So basically you help each other cut the wind. And so when us viewers are seeing, it looks like sometimes you're too close and maybe you're battling, but actually what's happening is you're helping each other.
Yes. Sometimes like you go, because no, I'm going like a, maybe like a left side, like money going like a right side, no? So I get like advantage because like money like a closing my wind, everything, like money like a pulling actually. So I go like a right side, like money coming left side, money get like advantage. This is like a little bit like a technique only.
Well, Shekhar, congratulations. Fantastic race. Strong start, strong finish, showing us why you're the defending champion. We will see you in the distance and technicals tomorrow. And all the best. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for like Jigan and like a Coast Academy and TT Group. This like organizing like this race. So we need like more races because like in national like only one race only like happening like last 1 year. So we need like more race. Then only athlete also like more like growing like because like anytime like only like a training and all we can't like improve. So we go like a participant like some competition, no? We can improve like a lot. So we need like more competition.
Absolutely. Competition is very, very important. And I'm going to put you on the spot. Shekhar has a school called Cove. Beautiful school in Kovelong. And I think it's time that Cove maybe hosted a small event sometime soon.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, you heard it from Shekhar. An SUP event coming up in Cove. The champion of the technical men's 4 kilometer Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024. Well done, Shekhar.
Thank you.
I'm going to move over to second place. Unfortunate. It was very, very close. We were watching you, as Shekhar said. You guys were drafting, using each other for cutting the wind. But I think it was turn number 4 or turn number 3 or 6 turn where we saw you fall. So what happened there?
Over there, I lost my balance. Then I fell. I don't want to give up till the end, but I saw like few more turns are there. I thought I could catch him. Then he went little forward, so I lost my energy. Then he went forward. I gave up. Yeah.
No, but it looked like you were trying very hard for a long time, and after a point he did get a bit of an edge which you couldn't catch up. Did the turn you made, Shekhar made an interesting point. Do you think that same turn on a 12.6, something that you're more used to, might have been a little easier? Did the board size make a difference in the turn, or was it more the conditions of that turn that made you fall?
No, my board is little like good for turning and technical races because my tail is like little rounded compared to the NSP one. Yeah, but the 14 feet is little hard to turn. Also the condition little tricky today compared to last year and before the years. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Last year was glassy and the year before was really hot. But I think today's conditions was an interesting mix of challenges. But nonetheless, congratulations, Mani. Fantastic race. You have an interesting race coming up, which we're all looking forward to tomorrow, which is the Sprint Nationals, where you are the defending champion this year. Any extra pressure because of that?
No, I don't take it in my mind. Whatever happens. End of the time, I'll give my best. I'll give my 100%.
Spoken like a true champion. Congratulations on a strong second place, and we'll see you in the next races.
Also, I want to thank my sponsor, TT Group, and my family and friends. Because of their support only, I'm standing here. Without them, I'm not here. Thank you so much.
Such lovely words. True athlete. Thank you so much, Mani, and all the best. And in third place, we have Santosh and S, aka Kattai. I remember seeing you and Mani when you were this small when I first started surfing with you guys. Now competing at the highest level. All 3 surfers from Kovelong. Must be proud to be coming third with all your friends and competitors your neighbors also.
I'm so happy to say all 3 years, only first, second, third, every year. But this time I was trying to push, but no energy.
That thing in your hand, maybe give you some energy, maybe put some of that in your backpack next time?
Yes, of course.
Okay, but how was that race for you? How was the conditions today?
Today the condition was very hard, but the last year compared too flat, very flat, no wind, nothing. But this time it's hard to paddle. But I fell like four, 5 times I fell, but it's hard to go forward. If I'm not fall, I try to push. But this time I fell 5, 6 times. Fell down.
Yes, we noticed that, and that means that tomorrow the distance could be very tricky because you're going across and you have the wind coming in maybe from the north. We're not sure, so should be an exciting day. But congratulations for today. You are third best in the men's technical 4 kilometer at the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024.
Thank you so much for Arun Vasu. Then thank you for Veera, my sponsor. Then thank you for coach organizing this.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the men's technical 4 kilometer at the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024. It was an exciting race. Conditions were tricky. The new board sizes were something to consider. We will be now starting in about 7 minutes with the women's technical race, and we'll have a chat with the winners right after. See you soon.
Thank you, Nawaz, for that lovely interview with the winners of the technical race, Shekhar, Mani and Santoshan.
Is this mine? Akash. Hey, Swift, yeah. All rounded correctly? Perfect.
Yeah, it's all there.
I only need the position. Done?
Coming up will be the Technical Nationals Women's Finals. Again, 4 kilometer race. Paddling for the winner and runner-up position will be Anusha Reddy, Priyadarshini, Shrishti, Tanvi, Vijay Lakshmi and Monica. Wishing you the best, ladies.
You were on starboard, both of them were NSP, yeah? You were starboard. Oh, sorry, you were on NSP. Both starboard. That was a fun interview. It was so interesting to hear some of the insights from the athletes in the water.
Absolutely, and there's so much of information that they gave about the technicalities of the technical race.
I think if we say technical any more time, we might start getting fined. But by the technical committee.
Well, it is, very, very interesting. Like he said, small information about, the way they turn and, the conditions, how much of a difference it makes to their performance.
On that note, it's 5 minutes to start of the next race. Racers to the line. Yes, absolutely, Sunetra. In fact, the board's specifications have changed this year. Last year and the year before, we were having 12.6 as the size, that's the length, 12'6". And this year we have 14 footers because we've seen world over the ISA and all the international competitions move over to 14 footers. For those who might be interested to know why, obviously, the bigger the board, you have more buoyancy, and as a result, you're faster across the water. So it is a big challenge in this sport, actually. We'll come back. I wanted to have a discussion about equipment. Hopefully, if Jihan is free, because he's someone who has been a pioneer in making sure that we are up to date in the equipments in this sport in India. So maybe we'll call him along. I'll say less, he'll have more to say. But this particular board, for example, Shekhar was on a 14-foot NSP race board, and Manikantan and Santosh, I keep saying Fan and Katta because that's how I know them.
Yeah.
That's what comes to
us naturally.
So Manikantan and Santosh are on starboards. So slight differences. Again, I'll let Jihan explain, but all of that make a big difference. And interesting point that Shekhar made, the turns have to be calculated differently because the extent to which you can go back on a 14-foot differs to how much you can go back on a 12.6. So all these small things make a big difference. And one fall, as we saw, one fall makes a difference between first and second.
And it's interesting to be commentators also, Nawaz. There's so much that we learn from the sharing that the athletes do, and there's so much of knowledge share that happens. I mean, every event is indeed an eye-opener of sorts.
Absolutely, and as you can hear, we have our beach marshals loud and proud screaming in the background. So in case you heard, that was Dharani screaming instructions from across the tent to his team. But it just goes to show the amount of passion with which everyone's involved. 5 a.m. in the morning, you hear people screaming across the beach, move this around, get that here. And everyone is doing it as a volunteer. That's the beautiful part. This is not something which is a profession. This event, organizing this event or being part of it, is not a profession for anyone. All of us here are just volunteers here for the passion of the sport and the thrill of being part of a competition. We might not be able to do what Shekhar and Mani did.
Certainly not.
But it's fun sitting and watching and commentating nonetheless.
Time.
Okay, I think we have under 3 minutes to go. Let's make our way to the start. Sunethra, you want to join?
Why not?
Let's go over to the start of the Women's National 4-kilometer technical race. Four kilometers, yes, which means 4 rounds, the same as the men. Equal pay, equal play. To see the coaches giving last minute strategic and pep talk to the athletes.
Have fun, girls.
Like I said, just standing at the start line feels stressful. Kudos to these athletes who give it their best and put all into it and give something spectacular to watch. That's the sound of the race officer letting us know that there's 1 minute, so now less than 1 minute to go. In terms of the announcements. Technical race.
Check.
So Netra, was that your first time at the start line?
Technically, yes.
Well, not start line like your 100-meter sprints, but start line at one of these races.
Yes, Nawaz, it is. It was.
Could you feel the tension?
Not really. I was in fact observing all the women athletes and the tension and anxiety on their face. Well, yes, I have been on a start line, and to hear that gunshot go is like, it's terrible.
Chills down the spine.
It chills, I think, every bone in your body, and you're like, please let that trigger off. You know, that's how it feels, and I'm sure every athlete at a start line would feel that. You know, let the flag down. Just say the word go. You know.
I could see that. I mean, you could. It is a technical race. If you think about it, that 1 second might not make that much of a difference, but at that moment, that's all you want to hear.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, and you are watching the Stand-Up Paddle Technical National 4 kilometers. We just finished with the finals for the men category, and you are right now watching the women category.
we can't force the boss. Okay, then give me cold water. I got the cold water. We have an early retirement, unfortunately. I hope she's okay. Jihan? This athlete looks okay. Might be some cramps or minor injury, but that is Anusha Reddy retiring from the race. Anusha, we hope you're okay. Okay, we got the radio that she's all clear, which is good to hear. So in the water now we have 5 athletes. Priyadashini Balasubramaniam in 11, Shrishti Selvam in 38, Tanvi Jagadish in 116, Vijay Lakshmi Irulappan in
And
for the benefit of the and to it looks like she is all athletes, all 5 athletes now making their way. It's making the behind. Is that Shrishti in second?
Starboard 12.6.
Starboard
There are
12?
2 starboards there. One is Monica, one is Shrishti.
Oh, so that's Monica second.
One is Monica, one is Shrishti. I don't know
There's
who.
3 starboard.
We have 2 starboard 12.6 in the water.
Second is Monica right now. Sorry. So that's no. Up. Okay, we have the leader, Tanvi Jagadish, showing us why she is one of the veteran SUP athletes. She took a break for a couple of years, but doesn't seem to have slowed her down too much. Still with a comfortable lead. This is a semi-endurance race, so A lot can happen between lap 1 and 4, but as long as the athletes pace themselves, that's the most important thing actually in the technical and distance races, pacing yourself. And we can confirm that that is Vijay Lakshmi Rulappan in bib number 2, crossing the start-finish area and going to start her second lap. In third is Monica P in bib 44. She is the defending champion from last year. Could be pacing herself.
Boys in the water, I hope you're not in the competition area. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Not too bad from there. It's Shaker, no? He'll know what to do.
Yeah, Shaker, Rohan,
Everyone's
all.
team.
They just finished the race. Looks like Monica is gaining on Viji. So it could be interesting to see how the pacing strategy plays out here. We can see Shrishti there taking a very close inside line at turn number 5, and hence gaining a little bit of an advantage over the athlete behind her. They were close coming into this turn, but the angle of that turn . Oh, I'm sorry. That was Priyadarshini who took the turn closer, and Shrishti went a little wider. So we saw Priyadarshini gain advantage as a result of taking that turn much closer to the mark. All these small differences really show as soon as they exit from the turn. It makes the technical.
A very good afternoon to all those of you who have just logged in and have joined us on this Palkbay StandUp Paddle Challenge 2024. This is the third edition and we are on day 1 under the aegis of Surfing Federation of India, Tamil Nadu Surfing Association, supported by the Surfing Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, TT Group, Yolo, Quench EV Battery, the Residency Towers, Ocean Ambassadors, and this event hosted by Quest Academy. Right now, in the waters, battling for the first and second spot are the technical national women athletes, and this is a 4-kilometer race. In the waters are Priyadarshini Balasubramaniam, Shrishti, Tanvi, Vijayalakshmi and Monica. Hi Upasana. Camera now?
Camera is on us. We have a very important interview coming up from the big boss.
And we know somebody is all ears now. Please have your eyes on the water too.
We're all in the frame?
Oh my God.
Okay, camera's on us. We are live on YouTube. No pressure at all, Upasana. I know this is the favorite part of an event where you're on the mic. No, we just thought we'd have either you or Jihan talk to us, and since he's in safety, unfortunately, you're stuck with us, but we'll be nice. We wanted to understand what role does equipment play, and because we've been used to watching and commentating on surfing where the equipment is much smaller, logistics is a lot easier, every athlete has a quiver of 3, 4, 5 boards depending on conditions. It's not so much a consideration. Yes, of course, it's excess luggage on a normal flight, but you haven't heard of it as an obstacle in the competition itself. But I have seen personally, I've seen how much you guys struggle in trying to make sure the right equipment is available for everyone. So to start off with, maybe you can let us know. I know you know this by heart because you've been allocating boards to everyone over the last few days. So what are the different kinds of boards and from different board makers and the different sizes that we have being used today?
Yeah, so in this competition right now on the water, what we'll see is basically you'll see a lot of the 14-footer hard boards from Starboard as well as NSP. We have shorter boards which are 12.6, and we have the inflatable kind as well from Starboard, what we see on the water. Now, of course, each board has its advantages, where the inflatables are definitely more easier in terms of the mobility it offers to an athlete to move around with the board. But depending on the conditions, there are a lot of athletes who would prefer the hard boards, right? Well, I think this sport, it's a budding sport in India. It's still taking time to get equipment in the country. So as an organizing, the host of the event, what we've done is we've tried to accumulate and have boards available to the athletes. Of course, many of the boards are also owned by the athletes, and they've been very kind to allow other athletes in different categories to be sharing these boards, because it has been a challenge to ensure that every athlete has the right board for the conditions and what they have out here.
So they're allowed to share boards, right?
This is only across categories, not within the same category.
So two national men
cannot share a board.
Distance athletes cannot share.
Cannot
Obviously
share.
they can't because
Two
it's one heat.
national men cannot share a board, but yes, a person in the national men category can share a board with someone in the Groms under 16 because their races are completely separate.
Or
and
with the women
different.
for that matter.
Exactly.
Okay. So how does it work? I mean, is it mandatory, or is it just more helpful for an organizer to provide the boards? And how important is the amount of boards that the organizer is able to offer in terms of determining the size and the level of participation?
Sure. So, well, basically each athlete is responsible for their own board. So whether they choose to buy their own board, have their own boards for competition, or they rent a board at the venue, pre-rent a board where they've selected what they need, what they want. Now in India, of course, it's not the selection is not so vast, right? So we have tried to put together some boards which are going to be available for athletes to rent, while the others have come in with their own boards, which is a smaller number at this point. We're hoping to change that, I think, over the next year, where each athlete can have their own board and plan for their own races the way they envisage it as. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think I've just seen over the last 4 or 5 years where SUP was an extension of surfing. We had an SUP event attached right at the end of a surf event, definitely not getting the level of importance that this sport deserves. Now we are seeing dedicated events for SUP, a separate national ranking series for SUP. And I think all of that is because of the efforts of organizers like yourselves who are making sure. I think we were having a discussion yesterday where in organizing the board allocation, I asked you a question and said, what if you just said that bring your own boards only? And you had mentioned to me that we'd probably have 1/3 or 1/4 of the number of athletes, unfortunately, where we are. So if I understand correctly, it's a coming together of athletes who are willing to share the boards, organizers who are pulling together boards of their own and other maybe institutions or schools, and then creating a set of boards that can be used for the event of different sizes.
Yes. So right now it's a great community effort also, I would say. We've had, of course, SFI, the Surfing Federation of India, pulling in. We've had other schools pulling in, TT Group pulling in, where we've tried to accumulate boards for the athletes. Now in this competition, the number you see would not have been so high if each athlete had to organize their own board. I think, like you said, there would be 1/4 of the number that we see today. So it's been like an effort of many people to put together the collection we have in India with the resources we currently have available to the community for the races. Yeah.
What are the different brands that are being raced today?
I think right now the favorites are definitely NSP and Starboard. So what you see on the competition as well, I would say it's 80% of these brands.
I heard a couple of other names. I think one Rio.
Yes, so we have a Rio, we have a Gladiator, and
Ninja?
I think
Did I hear a Ninja?
that's the NSP, the Ninja 14-footer, yeah. So we
Okay.
have the Ninja 14, and then we have the Starboards as well in the 14 and the 12.6.
Basically, you've Starboard and NSP leading the way
Yes.
in as far as board makers are concerned in
Yes.
stand-up paddle. We are live.
Yeah.
We hope some of them are watching because
Yeah.
this is a landmark event.
I think.
First time ever we're live. If
Yeah.
you could say anything to the board makers
Yeah.
and people who have the ability to provide boards, who are in the
Yeah, I
ecosystem,
think-
what would you tell them?
No, I think with the board makers as well, of course, they have to look at different nations differently. India is a budding nation, and accessibility to equipment is very important at this stage. Along with one thing that's really going to help the athletes is training. So while we get boards in, having specialized clinics from the brands, getting international athletes down for the exposure that our Indian athletes need, I think would just benefit the industry. We have an amazing population. We have the interest. Now the next stage is getting in more training and boards to the community.
If surfing is anything to go by,
Yeah.
if you see the progress we've made over the last 10 years,
Absolutely.
we are probably where surfing was in India
I think
10, 12 years ago.
easy. Yeah.
And seeing what it has achieved, what the sport has grown to, and where we have people going to the Asian level competitions, the World Games,
Yeah.
WSL happening in our own beaches. I think it's only about time. Yes, equipment, as you rightly
Yes.
pointed out, is a huge factor. But I think the fact that everyone comes together and makes sure that every possible resource is available in terms of boards is definitely a big element
Yeah.
of putting these events together.
And now we have athletes who have come out on surfing, focusing on SUP as a sport, and that's where you see the growth.
Well, they should, because it is going to be an Olympic sport soon. It's inevitable.
Yes.
So we are at the right time focusing on it.
Yeah.
And please keep doing what you're doing. I know, being part of the organizing team, I know it can seem thankless sometimes. But trust me, everybody is grateful, and everybody who's watching, everybody who's part of this in any way, thanks you and your entire team for putting things like this together. Like I mentioned to Jihan, if nothing else, it's an opportunity for all of us to come together and experience this beautiful event. We're just pausing a second because we seem to have a boat in the middle of the course. This is India. It is a fishing village. We do have to respect possible situations like this. We do have a team. We have Jihan flying across, making sure that the boat does not come in the way of the athletes. It looks like the boat should be clearing just before the athlete passes, and it has. So not the ideal situation, but not as bad as it could be. It's all about how you make these things work. And in that little gap we had Upasana. In that little gap we had Upasana quickly escape from us, but thank you, Upasana, for taking the time and talking to us. We will ask for your time again tomorrow. But she made some very valid points, Sunitra, about the significance of equipment. It's something we don't think about. We all land up at this event and we enjoy it so much, but unlike surfing, the equipment is a huge part to play, especially the hard boards, the race boards, the hard race boards.
So that was Upasana from the Quest Academy sharing inputs on the different types of boards that athletes use and prefer, and as to why they prefer that. She did also send out a message to the makers of the boards. I hope you are listening, and I hope there would be a difference made to the sport and to the athletes. And I take this opportunity to say thank you to all those athletes who have shared their boards with the other competitors, which is very, very nice thing to do. This also means encouraging one another for the sport. So thank you very much there.
Absolutely, Sunitra. And you know, the board makers that she referred to, some of the key members of the team who oversee this region or this particular discipline have been actively involved, both from NSP and from Starboard. I know that very, very senior people in the company have been interacting with Indian board suppliers as well as schools, academies like Quest, and seeing what they can do. So the work is already underway. We have to give credit to these board makers already because they are doing their best, and we can only hope for more from everybody so that we have more of these kind of events and more athletes in the water.
So thank you to you too for that contribution. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the last lap for the person leading, and I think that's Tanvi. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Tanvi. She is in her last bit of her lap to finish this finals.
Tanvi Jagadish. From the west coast, Udupi. Making her last turn, heading towards the finish line, showing us why she's a multiple time defending champion, showing us why she's represented India on multiple occasions. She took a short break, but I don't think it's made too much of a difference as we see her cross the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's champion of the women's technical 4 kilometer, Tanvi Jagadish.
Konjam Kargoshate Irplame. Konjam Lauda Kaitattal. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Tanvi.
This little noise that you make by clapping hands means a lot to an athlete who has put in so much of effort and has completed a race. So let's not be conjuice about putting your hands together. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have one round of applause for all the athletes. Ellarum most in her last 50 meters is
Monica, champion from
chest number 44.
crossing the finish line, second place in the women's technical 4 kilometer. Well done, Monica. And I think we have Vijay Lakshmi. That is Vijay Lakshmi. In bib number 2. In third place is Vijay Lakshmi Irulappan. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3 of this year's women's technical 4 kilometer race. The top 3 athletes, that is Tanvi, Monica and Viji, to please join me for an interview near the judges area once you've had a chance to catch your breath and rehydrate.
while we wait for the women athletes to complete their laps. Coming up will be the Technical Nationals Mixed Groms. This will be a 2 kilometer. Check and call going out to Kalidas G, bib number 17, Bala Rajeshwaran, bib number 48, Purnish T, bib number 15, Sabrish T, bib number 14, Muthukumar N, bib number 40, Shakti K, bib number 37, Praveen Pujar, bib number 06, Karmegam Kantishwaran, bib number 09, and Akash Pujar, bib number 32.
Looks like we've got a couple of brothers there, huh? Could be a family affair. Check. If you check on live heats, you will find the results for the men's technical 4 kilometer with the time. For the benefit of everyone here, we'll run through the results. We had Shekhar Pachai finishing in first with a time of 21 minutes 8 seconds 0.48. Manikandan M 22 minutes 10 seconds 0.07. Santoshan S 24 minutes 44 seconds 0.48. Akash Shetty 25 minutes 11 seconds 0.48. Selvarasan Nagamuthu 25 minutes 53 seconds 0.02. Sudhakar Jena 26 minutes 30 seconds 0.27. Manjunath Nayak 26 minutes 46.61. and Anandi Naveen 28 minutes 40 seconds 0.13. We had Anup who did not start, and Rohan unfortunately had to retire due to an injury, Rohan Suvarna. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the results of the 8 athletes who finished the men's technical 4 kilometers. We had 3 women athletes in the 4 kilometer technical national women's division already completing the race, waiting for the last 2 to finish, making their last couple of turns. I'm going to quickly ask the winners of the last heat to join me for an interview. I'll be back in a bit.
May I request the winners of the women finalists, Tanvi, Monica and Vijay Lakshmi, to please join Nawaz for an interview behind the judges area, behind the announcer's desk. Can we have the girls to please join Nawaz at this? Calling Vijay. Vijay எங்க இருந்தாலும் தயவு செய்து announcers desk பின்னாடி வரவும். Thank you.
Shruti finishing in 4th in her maiden race. Well done, Shruti. We have the last of the athletes finishing strong.
Priyadarshini.
Priyadarshini. Pip number 11, is it? Yep. Interesting to see that none of the athletes finding the need to lose their board, having the strength to carry their board across the finish line, and that completes the women's 4-kilometer technical national division. Viji? We have the next race starting at 3:45. We'll be starting as per the schedule, because the last time we skipped the schedule, we had photographers not too happy with us, so we're sticking to the schedule this time. Check, check. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me in the 3rd place winner of the Women's National 4-kilometer technical race, Vijay Lakshmi. Viji, as we all know you, how was that race for you? And firstly, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very tough condition. Board, first time new board, balancing very tough. Okay.
What size board did you use?
Money board. 14 for first time.
14-foot NSP, right?
Starboard.
Oh, 14-foot starboard, okay. And how much of a difference did you find between the 12.6 and the 14?
First time, no balancing. In the competition, on the board, ninne competition. So very tough balancing.
So, போன வருஷத்துக்கும் இந்த வருஷத்துக்கும் course எப்படி இருந்தது உங்களுக்கு? Turning angle and conditions of the course last year இந்த வருஷம் நீங்க compare பண்ணீங்கன்னா எப்படி இருந்தது?
போன வருஷத்துக்கு இந்த வருஷம் condition okay, tanningum best. எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருந்துச்சு. Tanning இந்த வருஷம் நான் நல்லா பண்ண மாதிரி I feel.
We also felt, and it was a very strong race by you. Congratulations and all the best for the distance. Are you part of the distance tomorrow?
It's 12 kilometers.
So for the distance and the sprint tomorrow, all the best, and again congratulations for this result. That was Vijay Lakshmi, and I request the 2nd place winner, last year's defending champion, Monica, to please come and join me. Monica placed 2nd with a very strong finish in the women's technical. Congratulations, Monica. How was that race for you?
This time I got very struggled in this. Little bit I got tough. So no problem. It's just a game, right? Winning or losing is a sport.
What we love about your presence in this competition is that you have such a good attitude. You're so happy, regardless of the result. As long as you know you've done well, you always come out smiling. How do you keep that mindset?
Actually, I did only 5 days practice. So that I can't able to do much. So it's okay. It's a good time. I don't want.
No, I can tell, I can understand that you're tired after that race, but it's good to see you smile as always, and your smile is contagious. We're so happy to see you compete. This year you had one of the veterans of SUP join you in the race. Did that make a difference at all when you had Tanvi ahead of you there?
No. She did very well actually.
Okay, in the Groms, one kid is...
So he was encouraging to have someone like Tanvi to catch up to in the race?
I want to become like Tanvi. Because she is doing after long time, right? So I want to become like
Just tell...
Check.
I want to become like Tanvi because she is doing after long time. After long time, right? So very good, and I want to congratulate.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. In the words of the defending champion, she now aspires to be like one of the former champions. I think that's absolute sportsmanlike conduct, and we all have a lesson to learn from that. Thank you so much for that performance. It was exciting to watch. We cannot wait to see you in your other competitions, the distance and the sprint. Any special preparation you're going to do for tomorrow?
Yeah, we will see in that.
We're going to see it in your action. Fair enough. Congratulations on the strong second, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, and now time for the winner. In first place, I haven't spoken to her in a while in this setting, but welcome back. Long-time defending champion, back in action after a break. First place this time. Congratulations. Talk us through what that was for you.
Very emotional journey because the last 3 months has been tough because my dad is battling something very tough in his health. So I dedicate this race for my dad because he's fighting so strong, and I don't know, that's the strength I've got from dad. And I thank my family because with all the hospital visits and everything, they still let me train, they still fed me good food and encouraged me to wake up on time. My grandmother, every single person, like my friends, my coaches, every single person.
That was one of the most heartfelt messages, and I'm so sorry to hear about your dad's medical, but I wish him a speedy recovery and all the best. But I think you really let your paddling do the talking. It was a break of 2 years, was it?
Yeah, 2 years of proper break.
But it didn't show. You maintained a healthy lead. I'm sure your lead would have been a lot more if you were training regularly. But I think that's what this sport is about, especially a new sport in India. How important is the support of your family and friends and coaches in a sport like this?
I think it's everything. Like, I'm here because of my best friend Rohan. He pushes me every single day. And my family, my coaches, my friends, they've played such a huge part because when something is not going on well in your life, you need something to push you. And they were that. I could never say that I was alone.
Wow. I wish we could replay this message over and over again, because this is what sports is about. This is a clear example of how much of a positive influence it can have. And talk us through the mindset that you had to put yourself back in after taking a break. What did you have to do mentally to prepare for a race like this?
So this was a mental and physical preparation for me because I love Rameswaram because I've come and lived here and trained here when I used to visit Quest a lot. It's my favorite place. I knew that technical is going to be challenging, but technical is also fun because you just don't go in one direction. You have different buoys to go around. So like I used to practice a lot in the river because it's raining heavily back home. So I was a little concerned on how it's going to go because a river is flat and there's wind. But the river where I train, there's a lot of current. So I think that really helped me to paddle well here.
Any different preparation that you have? Because especially after a break, coming and doing a 12-kilometer race requires a different kind of preparation. Talk us through in this short period what you had to do to prepare for tomorrow morning's race.
As of now, I'm going to sleep a lot, stretch a lot. Call my yoga instructor and ask her to guide me with all my stretching. So she usually helps me a lot with that. But I think distance is going to be fun because the venue is so good. And I've done like 12 kilometers so many times before the race today because the place where I train is quite beautiful too. So yeah, I'm excited.
You're going to recall on all your past experience and remind yourself that 12 kilometers is not that difficult a distance for you to it. Well, Tanvi, absolute pleasure seeing you back in the water. We wish you and your family all the best. You gave a few dedications, but before you sign off, is there anything you'd like to say to your people back home or anyone watching? We are live worldwide.
This is to begin with to my dad. Papa, mast thank you. I love you so much. To my mom also, I cannot live her. But thank you to my family, my grandmom, my aunt, my sister, my brother with whom I live, like with my grandparents. My best friend Rohan, who pushes me every single day, and my coaches, my yoga instructor, my strength and conditioning coach, every single person who's played such a important role in my life and who didn't let me quit. Even before this race, I had a health condition, so I was very scared, but I think everyone encouraged me so much, so thank you so much.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Tanvi Jagadish. Couldn't have asked for a better explanation as to how much of an impact sports has. Kudos to her. Congratulations to her and her family who have supported her through all of this. Great to see her back, and we will see her back tomorrow. Hopefully we have more chats when you finish in the top 3. But for now, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back soon with the Groms 16 and under 2-kilometer technical race. We have your champion signing off, and I think she has one more thing to say.
I also have to thank Akash Shetty because I didn't have a board, because last minute I flew from Udupi, and I think without his board I wouldn't do this, because it is an excellent 14-feet NSP board, it is my first time racing on a 14-feet board, and it's a game changer. So thank you so much, Akash.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Tanvi Jagadish, your champion for the 2024 Palkbay SUP Challenge Women Technical Division. Congratulations again. We will see you guys after a short break. We have approximately 11 minutes to the start of the next race. We'll be back soon. and the fact that we are watching the future of the sport. That for me is the most exciting part. Whether it's as part of the SFI or if it's as part of the TNSA, all our focus is on youth development alongside training of the existing athletes. So just to see more participation in this category and to see the energy that they put out when they win, the celebration, when they lose, the disappointment, everything is just so much more exaggerated, and that's contagious. So as viewers, as supporters, it's just so much fun to watch. But having said that, nothing to take away from the men or the women division. That's a lot of fun to watch too. It's very serious competition. But there's a sense of lightheartedness and excitement when you watch the Groms, which is so exciting.
Absolutely. How many minutes more before we begin?
My watch says we have close to just over 3 minutes to start. But the official call is from the race officer, retired Commander ML Sharma, running this event like clockwork as always. He shows me 3 fingers, which means that's 3 minutes to go. Okay, while we have the attention of all the athletes who are still here, I request after this heat to please assist the beach marshal in putting away all the boards in the board covers. All the athletes, don't run away as I say this, please. Request all the athletes to please assist the beach marshal after this race in putting away the boards. Your assistance will be much appreciated. Coming, sir. Coming.
Check.
That's the call from the race officer letting us know there's 1 minute to go, so less than a minute to the start. As we see the future of this sport in Tamil Nadu lined up ready to start the Groms 2-kilometer technical race. "30 seconds. And a very start by the Groms 16 and under athletes of the 2-kilometer technical race. That's some powerful paddling that we're seeing from bib number 40 up front. Some deep paddling by bib number 32. A little more upright stance by 15. Fantastic to see the form that these Groms are in. Looks like they've been training very hard for this race. As I make my way back to the commentary booth.
So we have Siddharth Hande with us once again, and Siddharth, you were a witness to the start of this future of the sport. So, and we've been talking all along about youth development. So that's the youth there for you. So what do you have in mind?
Yeah, no, I mean, as we said, youth should be the foundation of how we think about developing the sport. It's important that every year athletes come through to compete. Right now, as you can see, the energy, the interest, the passion, it's all there for everyone to see. But we would just love to have as many people in the water. And that's going to be the focus of, as an association, what we're going to be looking at. And it's still early days, but I think there are a couple of key things here. There's introducing people to the sport safely, and there's also building a perception that it is a safe place. The ocean is a safe place for kids to come in and learn the competition. So that's going to be our foundation.
Absolutely, Siddharth. And as much as all this is important, I think training also speaks volumes for any sportsman to excel. And that's the kind of support that the Tamil Nadu Surfing Association is going to be imparting to all aspiring athletes for water sports, especially surfing and stand-up paddle.
Yeah, it's very early days, but the idea here is safety first. So as they learn the sport, they need to learn how to swim. As they have to also have access to the right equipment. We need to build local competitions. So this is also something on our calendar where the goal as a state association is to develop more and more competitions that then feed into the nationals. Right now with SUP, because of Quest and because of their leadership, we have this amazing venue for our nationals, but then I think we can do a lot to feed into it. So hearing Shekhar say that Cove is going to organize an event, I mean, I think this is all amazing stuff. And then from TNSA's perspective is how do we make this an actually achievable situation? How do we make it sustainable? How do we do all of these kinds of things? I think we have a lot of things to play. We can definitely drive more kids to the sport by going and talking to schools, by talking to fishing communities, introduce them to this, introduce them to the right people. We can help bring in money and equipment. I think we can definitely work on these kinds of things. Chennai and Tamil Nadu is really leading the sport of surfing and stand-up paddling in the country. So I think it's on our shoulders to make sure that we really trailblaze and take it to the next level. I think these are the kinds of interventions that we're going to be focusing on. It's a really exciting team. It's a mix of you can say administrative folks, experienced surfers and stand-up paddlers. So yeah, I'm really excited what we're going to do this year.
As cliched as it may sound, it takes two hands to clap, but it takes a lot of people to come together to make a noise, and a noise we will definitely make very soon. Thank you very much there, Siddharth, for joining us and giving us your inputs.
Thank you. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, Siddhi. Always a pleasure to have you by our side. Siddharth, who is not just the president of the TNSA, but also a very, very good vocalist. A really good guitar player. Guitarist, a guitar player. Maybe we'll ask you to give us a couple of lines on the mic.
He needs a different platform for that.
Maybe something new. Drop some lines for SUP.
Drop some lines.
Well, a part of me knew that would get him out of here as quickly as he got here. So maybe. Now, maybe on finals day, when everyone's buzzing and the energy is high, we try and grab a guitar and get Sid to sing a few lines for us. I look forward to it.
Thank you. I think the Groms have finished their first lap there. And
wow, that's quick. Who's that in the lead? Can we spot the number?
Pujar.
Akash Pujar. Which one of the Pujars? Akash? Okay, so Upasana letting me know that Akash is on starboard.
Akash Pujar, yes.
That is Akash Pujar making his turn. A little wobble, but he looks okay. And close behind him.
I love to see the support coming in from the
of the kids on the beach. I don't know if the camera... Can the camera... the live camera, if can you just capture the attention of the... Oh, we have that already. Okay. The kids on the beach. I think there'll be a few voices lost at the end of this race. If that doesn't encourage an athlete, I don't know what will. Tell him.
பசங்களா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா சத்தமா கத்துங்க பார்க்கலாம். Thank you so much. That kind of encouragement and cheer from the onlookers is going to give some kind of an energy for the participants there. What a vibe.
I told you this is my favorite category.
They're all running up to receive, I guess.
The next athlete coming.
Roda.
This is the last race of the day one of today's event.
Connect பண்ணிடுவா.
This is the Groms Technical National Mixed 2-kilometer race.
As we watch the athletes making turn number, well, the third last turn. We had athlete in first place making it through, Akash Pujar. It's very close between second and third. We have fourth also catching up. This is going to be an exciting finish. It is a beach finish, so until they cross the finish line, will the athlete and line, will he carry his board because he doesn't want to lose time taking off his leash? Strategy is going to be at play. Let's see. We're going to use it. Very, very close.
Let's go.
This last turn could make the difference between second and third. Looks like they're very close. And fourth. Fourth is catching up. Like I said, Sunit, this is a beach finish. So it's not as simple as just crossing the line. There's a last turn. You can choose to lose the board. You can choose to run with your board. You don't want to lose time taking off your leash. Multiple ways of finishing this race.
And just look at the number of supporters in the water cheering every participant there. It's so nice to watch this.
I didn't see this in any of the other divisions.
Absolutely not. We have Shekhar, Tanvi and all the others in the water cheering up this Groms category, and
who's this we have?
so they must. 32, Akash Pujar.
Akash Pujar with a strong lead, comfortably finishing.
And carrying his board. Well done. Please put your hands together.
Well done, Akash, this year's champion of the Groms division technical race, Akash Pujar. Now we have second and third. We have Muthukumar in second. And second place is Muthukumaran in third place. What a finish. That was not an easy race. We have in fourth place touching distance between second and third. Well done, Kalidas. What an exciting finish.
Absolutely. We have 3 more.
More athletes making their last few turns. While they do that, I ask Akash Pujar, Muthukumaran and Praveen Pujar to please join me for an interview by the judges area. Athletes finishing in first, second and third in that race. Please catch your breath and join me for an interview at the judges area. As we come close to the end of the day, we wait for the last few athletes to cross the finish line.
As we come to an end of this beautiful, exciting day filled with so much of fun, laughter, sportsmanship, we look forward to yet another day tomorrow where we have the winners listed. And in the meantime, I'd like to say thank you once again to every volunteer who has been a part of putting this event together, to our supporters and sponsors, Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, to TT Group, to Yolo, to Quench EV Battery, to the Residency Towers, to Ocean Ambassadors. This event, Palkbay StandUp Paddle Challenge 2024, under the aegis of the Surfing Federation of India and Tamil Nadu Surfing Association. And thank you very much to our lovely hosts, the Quest Academy, to Jihan and to Upasana. Thank you.
And thank you, Sunetra, for today. Can't wait to have another day of commentary with you on finals day tomorrow. Request all the athletes to please help with putting the boards away. Request all the athletes here. The beach marshals have been working tirelessly to make sure that the equipment is available to you and kept in good condition. So let's return the favor, guys, and let's help the beach marshal and his team to put away all the boards for today. Your help will be much appreciated. Sunitra, can we have that in Tamil?
Yes. Boards anithayum dayasedu beach marshal eduthu oppodikanum. Participants, உங்களோட கவனத்துக்கு எல்லாம் போர்டும் தயவு செய்து பீச் மார்ஷல்ஸ் ஏரியாக்கு எடுத்துட்டு போகவும், எல்லாத்தையும் எடுத்து உங்க இடத்துல வைக்கணும். Please, athletes, request you to please take your boards and place it in the rack. தயவு செய்து boards அனைத்தையும் the rackல
and also help in pack it.
Pack.
Check.
Athletes, please pack your boards and put it in the respective racks. Help the beach marshal who has helped you all through the day. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm going to go 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we witness a very, very exciting finish in the Groms Under 16 Technical 2 kilometer race, the national division. A very, very tight finish between second and third. Second place athlete almost running away, dropping his paddle, picking it up again. All of it was just very exciting for us to watch. I have with us the top 3 athletes. We'll start with the third place. That is Praveen Pujar. Praveen, are you here? Praveen, congratulations on that third place. It looked like a very strong race, very tight between second and third. Is this your first time competing in this venue?
Yeah, this first time. Race is very good.
Okay, and this was a 2 kilometer race. The distance still required for you to pace yourself and to plan the race. Talk us through how you went about that race. How did you plan that race? How did you execute it? You can speak in the language you're comfortable.
This super race is very good. I am there. Boya turn ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದೆ. ಬೋಯ ಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದೆ. ಅವ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡೆದ.
You want to come help us with the translation? I think with him and Akash. We have another Akash from the men's division who's going to help us with the translation. So what did he just tell us?
So he was telling he had a really good time in the race, but then he messed up during one of the buoy turns where he fell down. But apart from that, it was a good race. It's his first nationals, and yeah, they've been training really hard, and I'm really proud of them.
So which turn was it? Which turn did you fall down?
Right turn.
Right turn. And before that, you were in second place?
Yeah, second.
And after that, you could not catch up and take over the lead again.
No.
Well, that was a good race. It was a lot of fun for us to watch. Thank you for that performance. You have, I think, your sprint race tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah.
All the best for your race tomorrow. Congratulations on your third place today. And we look forward to seeing you more and more in the future competitions.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Is there anything you want to say to anyone watching back home?
So either surfing Swami Thanks. Surfing Swami Pondisan is.
Okay, I think he's a shy third place winner, but a very, very strong athlete. Congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow. Rest up well, and see you tomorrow morning. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Praveen Pujar in third place. In second place was a local, Muthu Kumaran. Hi Muthu, Tamil பேசலாமா? சரி. Muthu Kumaran, நீங்க அந்த ரேஸ்ல செகண்ட் பிளேஸ் வந்தீங்க. ஸ்டார்டிங்ல தேர்ட்ல இருந்தீங்க. அவர் ஒரு டர்ன்ல விழுந்தாரு. அதுக்கப்புறம் உங்களை பிடிக்க முடியல. உங்களுக்கு அந்த ரேஸ் எப்படி இருந்தது?
ஜாலியாக இருந்துச்சு. தமிழ் புதவை சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க. சாயங்காலம் சொல்லி கொடுப்பாங்க. அதோட கீழே விழுந்தாங்க. வாய்ப்பு கிடச்சிச்சு, அடிச்சிட்டேன்.
ஸோ அவர் கிட்ட இருந்தது உங்களுக்கு அதனால எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ப்ரெஷர் இருந்ததா இல்லை அது உங்களுக்கு நல்லா தள்ளிடுச்சா ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக போகிறதுக்கு?
டப்புன்னு சொல்லிடுச்சு. அவள் கொஞ்சம் முன்னாடி போனால் ஓவர் டேக் அடித்தேன், அடிச்சு முந்திட்டேன்.
சரி, நீங்கள் இதுக்காக எந்த விதமான ட்ரைனிங் பண்ணிட்டுருக்கீங்க? எத்தனை நாளாக ட்ரைனிங் பண்ணிட்டுருக்கீங்க?
2 வாரம் 3 வாரம் தான் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. சாயங்காலம்
2 வாரம் 3 வாரத்துக்குள்ளே நீங்கள் இவ்வளோ
சொல்லி கொடுத்ததுக்காக அதுக்கு முன்னாடியே.
ஸோ நீங்கள் யார் கூட ட்ரைனிங் பண்ணிட்டுருக்கீங்க? தமிழ் அவர் இருக்காரா இங்க? கோச் தமிழ். He's helping with the boards. I'm sure that நீங்க நாளைக்கு sprint race இருக்கீங்களா?
Yes. Okay.
So maybe நீங்க நாளைக்கு sprint raceல வந்து first, second, third ஏதாச்சும் ஒரு பொசிஷன்ல வந்தா அந்த டைம்ல உங்க கோச்சும் கூப்பிடலாம். இல்ல இப்போ வந்துட்டாரா? தமிழ் வாங்க. தமிழ் நீங்க இவர 2-3 வாரம் தான் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க சொன்ன உண்மையா அது?
ஆமா ஒரு 1 மந்த்தா தான் சொல்லி தந்துட்டு இருக்கோம்.
SUPA 1 month சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க.
ஏன்னா மார்னிங் டைம் அவன் ஃபிஷிங்லாம் போயிடுவான். தென் கம்மிங் பேக் 3 to 5 daily teaching. And giants are also helping every day. What skills teaching, everything telling, then I'll do it.
2-3 வாரத்துல 1 monthல technical race 2 kilometers ஜெயிச்சது. Round of applause ladies and gentlemen. This is what this course is about. Someone picking up a paddle, picking up a board in 1 month, competing at a national level, coming second place, fighting hard. Your technique, உங்க technique சூப்பரா இருந்தது. நாளைக்கு எந்த ரேஸ்ல இருக்கீங்க நீங்க?
டெக்னிக்கல் இது ஸ்ப்ரிண்ட்.
அதுக்கு வேற விதமான ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் பண்ண போறீங்களா?
இல்ல அதே தான்.
டப்புன்னு ஹார்ட் ரேட் வச்சு நீங்க அப்படியே ஜெயிச்சிடுவீங்க.
மிஸ்டேக்ஸ்லாம் கரெக்ட் பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க. இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் மிஸ்டேக்ஸ்லாம் பண்ணல.
இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் அந்த இது பாருங்க.
All the best for tomorrow. We are live. உலக பூரா உங்க பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸை பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. நீங்க உங்க சப்போர்ட்டர்ஸ் ஃபேமிலி கிட்ட ஏதாச்சும் சொல்ல விரும்புறீங்களா? Thank you anything.
Thank you very much.
He's a man of few words, but a beautiful performance. 1 month at the stand-up paddle and second place. Ladies and gentlemen, Muthu Kumaran, the second place winner of the technical 2 kilometer Groms 16 and under. Congratulations. Okay, and now for the winner, Akash Pujar. What a strong performance, Akash. No one stand a chance in catching you. What language do you prefer? I don't speak Kannada, that one. I need a translator again, please. Okay. So, Akash had a strong race. You were leading throughout the race. Tell us how that experience was for you. Was it calming knowing that you had a lead? Was there too much pressure? Talk us through the race from your side.
Race is good, little bit wind, but what left turn is right turn is current ತುಂಬ ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಮತ್ತು ತುಂಬ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನು. ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ದ ರೇಸ್.
What board were you using?
20.5 all-star board. 14, yeah.
So, how was the conditions today, and was this board the correct board for you to be using in these conditions?
Yeah. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಾಳಿ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಾಳಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಮತ್ತೆ.
Okay, so there was a wind, but there's still the board stood up well. How long? I've seen you surf, right? I've seen you in the surf competitions. The first time I'm seeing you in SUP competition, but second time I'm seeing you in SUP competition, and a very, very big improvement and a strong performance. What kind of training are you doing, and who are you training with?
ಸರ್ಫಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಕಾಶನ ತುಂಬ ನಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 3 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ಫಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್, ಮಂತ್ರ ಸರ್ಫ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಮಂತನ ತುಂಬ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಗೌರವ್ ಅಂಕಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
I think I understood that. He thanked you. I think you're his coach. Surfing Swami Foundation, our own Sham and Gaurav.
So from the past 3 months, we've been having a very systematic, rigorous training camp after the Daniel Husolio race clinic. But the kids also, it's not just us. They have been putting in the hard work. So he just finished his SSLC board exams. So he would go running in the morning, and then because he's bad at math, he would have longer class sessions, and then post that he would come and paddle at night. So after dark he would paddle. Both the kids, for that matter, he's 13 and he's 16, and they are own brothers. So they've been training really hard, especially Akash. They've been doing 300 crunches every day and running everything. It's properly noted down, and we have a proper program running back home, and that's about it.
There you go. You heard it from the coach himself. He doesn't go easy on them. 300 crunches. My stomach hurt while you even said that. All right. Well, fantastic performance. Congratulations again on your victory. You are in the sprint tomorrow?
ನಾಳೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್
And you are in the open men's division 12-kilometer race.
ಎಸ್ ಯಾ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ.
Wow, that's going to be a busy day. I wish you all the best. Like I said, you are the champion for the technical 2-kilometer Groms 16 and under national division here at the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024. We have a bunch of viewers from around the world. Any message you'd like to give to your people and supporters back home?
ಅದೇ ಮೈ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ತುಂಬ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. ಮಂತ್ರ ಸರ್ಫ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತುಂಬ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Akash Pujar, the champion of the 2024 Groms 16 and under technical race. And with that, we draw to an end of day 1 of the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024. It's been an exciting day. Weather has been pleasant. It's blessed us with not too many complications. Nothing, we couldn't ask for more. We're excited tomorrow for day 2, where we'll be starting with the distance men's 12-kilometer, followed by the women's distance, and then we have all the finals of the sprints coming up as well. A fantastic day 1. Look forward to day 2. This is me, Nawaz, signing off, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Good day.
Thank you very much, Nawaz, for that lovely interview and for those lovely words. Indeed, a wonderful day, and what a way to finish with the Groms. Thank you very much, and thank you to all those of you who have joined us and have stayed on with us watching this lovely event. See you all tomorrow, day 2 for the Palkbay SUP Challenge 2024. Signing off along with Nawaz is Sunetra. Thank you.